Hey guys, so this is a new thing for me. I'm gonna try to start a little series on YouTube, just going through my running journey. Shout out to Isaac Lopez for the motivation to do this. He put a video on his YouTube channel a couple days ago now, just going through his goals for his half marathon coming up, I think at the end of this week. So this first video in the series will simply be explaining why I'm doing the series. What is my commitment to running? What keeps me motivated? What's been my journey for running so far? What are my goals? And then what are the future videos going to look like? So starting with why the videos and my commitment to running. This I'm going to use to keep me motivated. There are several times when I need to wake up early and run. I tend to run early in the morning because I have 3 small kids and I want to give my wife as much of a break as possible with them because they're a handful. So I run very early in the morning. Usually wake up around 4:30 in the morning to do that. And so I'm hoping to use this to keep my motivation high. If people start to watch this and I post a bunch of videos and then I slack off, they're going to notice that, right? So this will be my motivation to keep going and keep track, right, of my progress. So what's been my running journey so far? What got me started was my wife about 2 years ago jokingly saying, I've delivered 3 kids at home unassisted. You can run a marathon. And she was mostly joking. She was probably fully joking, to be honest. But I went to the back room where my computer is and I signed up for a marathon. That was the Coeur d'Alene Marathon, which is in northern Idaho, about an hour and a half north of where I live in Coeur d'Alene. And I signed up. That race was in May of 2024. So I had about 7 months to prepare for it. At the same time, I didn't originally plan to do this, but about halfway through that marathon build, I signed up for the Shamrock Shuffle, which is in Spokane, Washington, which is basically the neighboring city to Coeur d'Alene on this Washington side. And the main reason I did that was to gauge where I was at in my fitness. My goal with the marathon was to run sub 4 hours. So my goal with the half was to run sub 2 hours. I ended up running the half in 1:56 something. So that gave me pretty high hopes for the marathon coming up in a couple months after that. The half was in March, the full was in May. I hit the wall in the marathon at mile 18 and didn't quite hit my goal. I ran a 4:12:44. So 12 minutes and 44 seconds slower than what I wanted. After that, I ran a 5K in the fall, a turkey trot right around Thanksgiving. So that would have been November of last year. I ran a 22:30, which is a 7:15 average per mile. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get to the goals for the future. Then, again, coming back to spring of this year, I ran the Shamrock Shuffle again. I was coming out of an injury at that time, and I ran it with Isaac Lopez, who I've mentioned in the beginning of this video. So we both agreed to take it slow, just have a fun time, be chill. but that didn't happen. We ran the first mile, I believe, sub 8, and didn't really stop. We finished sub 2 hours, which was a PR for Isaac at the time. It was just a hair slower than what I had ran the previous year. So that was a super fun race, which leads me to May of this year, where again, my goal was to run 4 hours, sub 4 hours, but my training, I had been shooting for sub 350. So all of my marathon paced runs, I was running 8:47 per mile or 8:54, whichever one of those is sub 350. That didn't happen either. But the caveat with that race was it was pretty hot and it was very sunny, and I got overheated and my heart rate skyrocketed in that race and I could not control it. And that was at mile 20 or so. So that's what happened in that race, which leads me to Hayden, which was a couple weeks ago, which I put a YouTube video out on. It was super fun. It was with my brother John and his buddy Barrick. It was their first marathon, and we decided to take it really easy and try to run it without walking. And the only time we walked was through aid stations, so I'd call that mission accomplished. Yeah, very entertaining, very fun, very chill. Very super fun running with those guys. So that leads me to today and the future. So my future goals, I have short, medium, and long-term goals. My short-term goal is in a month, I have the same turkey trot coming up. I want to run sub 21 minutes, which would be about a minute and a half faster than what I ran last year. I don't know what that is per mile, but it's pretty fast. So that's my short-term goal. My medium-term goal is to run my next half marathon, which will be the Snake River half on the Snake River down south of Moscow, sub 150. I think I'm going to be able to do that pretty easily. So I may end up shifting that to a sub 145. We will see. And then my long-term goal is to run the Windermere Marathon in Spokane next year in May at a sub 350. So some lofty goals there. I think I can accomplish them all though with good hard work, keeping my diet under control, running consistently. I think we'll get there. All right, and then talk a little bit about the format of future videos. What I'm planning to do is either, one, do really short videos or shorts of me explaining my workout before I go out and run, maybe a little bit of me actually running, and then a picture of my watch to show the end result. I'm planning to do that. The two options are either to just post that each day that I run, or to assemble it all into a weekly video, kind of summarizing everything and posting that every week. We will see. But just to show what I did today, I will put a little snippet after this is done showing a run I just did. I'm currently in Shipshewana, Indiana on a business trip, and it was wet and cold and rainy outside, so I thought it's perfect weather to get a run in. So I'll show that here in just a second. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this series. I hope you learned something. I'll talk my race, my fueling, workout, lifting, strategy throughout this series. So hopefully that'll be educational for some people. If not, I hope you just enjoy the content and enjoy me talking a lot and running a lot. So appreciate you watching this video and hope you enjoy the future ones. Thanks. All right, this is a little walkthrough of the run I just did. Did 3.8 miles. It took me 35 minutes and 5 seconds. average pace of 9:14 per mile. My efficiency was 98%. I would credit my cold that I currently have for that. Average heart rate of 169, elevation gain 69 feet. Coming off of a cold. I have a cough right now. Haven't been feeling great today. Didn't sleep very well. I just got to Indiana last night, so I'm currently dealing with the time change, 3-hour time difference from Pacific time. Just explaining some of my splits here. I did the first 2.5 miles somewhat easy. That second mile I ran a 9:16 and a half. And then I really pushed this fourth lap here that's highlighted. Oops. Yep, that's highlighted. I did a half mile at my goal 5K pace just to see how it felt. It felt decent. Definitely felt hard, but not unbearable, which is a good sign given I still have a whole month to improve. So you can see 0.8 miles kind of just recovering 10:10 per mile, that last 0.8 miles. So this is kind of what I plan to do, just explaining my run after I'm done in each of those videos I was talking about earlier. All right, that's it. Thanks. So this video will just be about this first video will just be about why I'm making this series. Dude, my ums.